I wanted a fringe. I wanted like a side fringe.
Oh, those days, yeah.
I
yeah.
know.
I got into that
TV
too.
days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to episode number 5 of BlessedPod. Today we are joined by an amazing girl, one of my really close friends now. She is an emerging hairstylist across, cutting women's hair and also men's cuts. She was one of my first PT clients, and she's now a good friend of mine. And she's a hard worker and invests time into personal development, which I appreciate about her. And she is an aspiring business owner. So please welcome Christy.
Hey, Christy. welcome to the
Welcome to
studio.
the
It's a work in
BlessedPod.
progress. But yeah,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me out.
Of course.
Thank
of
you
course.
for coming through.
Thank you.
Especially on a weekend. So
All
let's
good.
get right into it. Okay, so did I do you justice there with the
with the
introduction
intro.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty good intro.
It's really good.
It's really good intro.
So we're just going to quickly start off with naming 3 ways you're blessed today. Just start off
Oh.
with some gratitude.
3 ways. So first would be given another day to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yeah. Just being alive today. Second would be family.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to wake up in the same household as them.
You got a big family.
Yes.
Yeah, from what I remember.
Pretty big.
Very big family.
And my pups, actually. Pluto. Yeah. He's only 6 months, and he gives you just like this joy, even though like there are some days where it's like hard, but like
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have him. Yeah.
How long have you had the dogs for?
So Pluto and Kai, we've had them for about 4 months, but they're six months old because we got
Okay.
them at 2 months. Yeah.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I had a dog once. It died.
Aw.
Yeah, ran over by a car. But this is not about me today.
Definitely not about you today.
You just brought up dogs, and I'm like, it threw me back to the time where I had one, and I got ran over by a car.
They're great companions.
Oh yeah, miss
Yeah.
him dearly. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll go on to the next one. So why do you feel blessed by your said answers?
I don't know. Like I just
It just makes you feel some type of way. You can't explain it. But
Yeah.
I feel you.
like
Like
I feel like a
butterfly.
lot of love, a lot recently.
Oh, that's good.
I've been trying to practice gratitude,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I just feel like from before to now, like I'm really trying to change the way I see things, and
Yeah.
being grateful has
Yeah,
just
nice.
like changed, the way I view life, and
Yeah.
I know
good.
it's really good. Yeah.
Is that something you want to get into a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so it just goes on to the second question where have you always felt blessed? And it seems like you may have felt blessed, but there was like a turning point where you're like, okay, I definitely need to be mindful and aware of how I see things.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't always. I probably did feel blessed, but I think I was just never like grateful for like the things that I had. Like I took things for granted.
Yeah.
I'm realizing like a lot now. One of the things was like being grateful for family, friends, like having quality time with them. The most recent one that I've been feeling is like taking them for granted, and I recently like met up with one of my oldest friends, Martina,
Okay.
and she was in high school. For some reason, I didn't like think about it then, but when I look back now, she was one of the really good ones, and I really thought like I took I took advantage of that friendship. Like
Yeah. In what
I
way?
didn't appreciate her
Right.
enough.
Yeah.
Like
I think we've all done that.
I think we've all done that, so don't
Yeah.
feel bad. Yeah, I was a dickhead, but I think we all don't know what we didn't know at the time. Like we were young and stupid,
Yeah.
so
We're
I
still
think
young.
it's good that it's good. I mean, that sounds like you realized it and
Yeah.
you went back and tried to make amends, which is what I mean. It's always good to hear because like a lot of people will just leave it
Thank
and
you for
then
being
it's
honest
like
with
water.
that.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I wasn't expecting that.
That's
Pretty
really
cool.
good. And in your situation right now, like doing hair, what do you currently do, and why do you do what you do?
Okay. So I'm a second year apprentice in hairdressing at the moment. Yeah, so pretty much I do hair. I work in a salon in Kermond. It's called Sabi Collective. And
Hey.
it's my second salon that I'm working at, and I really do enjoy it. Should I go back to like how I got into?
Yeah, we'll get
I
straight
mean,
into it. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I've
do it.
known Christy for like a few years now. I feel like it's been a long time, but like it's actually shorter than that.
Yeah.
But I've seen her grow, so it's really interesting just to hear this. So please share where you started and how'd you get to now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so weird because like it's only been like 2 years, and I feel like I've seen like such a weird like growth.
Yeah.
No,
good
it's,
growth,
yeah, it's good
for
though.
sure.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
You're still so young,
Yeah.
so it's good.
So what should I
Where'd you
start
start?
with? So when I finished high school,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought like I was gonna go into typical nursing
Ooh.
degree.
Really?
Philip,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I chose that because like I wanted to help others,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
always like gave you some sort of like happiness, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I realized I really like didn't enjoy biology or like
Mhm.
those science subjects
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
So I was like, why am I trying to put myself through that like
Mm-hmm.
in uni for 3 years?
Why try like something you don't like?
Yeah,
You're forcing
exactly.
it. Yeah, totally.
I'm forcing
Totally.
it. So I was just like, okay, well, I then switched my career path to business,
Mm-hmm.
and I was majoring in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it because I thought, this is really cool. I get to understand like why businesses do certain things,
Yeah.
how they do sales and how they attract like customers and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I really understood that because I was working in Kmart for 5 years. So
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
there you go.
yeah. So that was really interesting, but then it got me thinking like, okay, so where's this like degree gonna take me? Like
Mm.
I saw myself, wearing like a business attire, like heading to the office and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but like not
Nice.
really knowing like what
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be doing. Like
Of
it was
course.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
Yeah.
image of like,
Yeah.
business, like women like look really cool and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
classy and stuff like
I
that.
get that.
But yeah, I had like no idea where I was going with it. So
So when did you figure you wanted to do hair?
so it started with me like shaving my dad's head.
Okay.
Oh,
so
hey, the dad.
he's,
Shout out, dad.
So he's like already at that age where he's like balding and stuff.
Yeah.
So like he'd get me to like shave it, and then I did that, and then my boyfriend at the time, he wanted like a haircut, and I was like, okay, I'll do a haircut for you. And like just doing a haircut, like it reminds me of like creating something, and it took me back to high school where I really enjoyed art.
Ooh.
And I
Wow.
know like back then, like I was like, I enjoy art. I love like drawing and like copying like anime or like
Yeah.
cartoon pieces, but like I knew I couldn't get like some sort of like career out
From
of
it,
that, like
yeah.
unless I was like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really do have like a knack of like creating things.
Mm.
So I think then I was like, why don't I go into like barbering? Like I
Mhm.
know there could be like money in that.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, so at first I thought barbering, but then I thought, why not hairdressing?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
like women have, you know, longer hair, a lot more hair I can do and create more with it.
Of course.
And hairdressing does dive into barbering a little bit as well.
Yep.
So I was like, I could do both. And that's when I started hairdressing. I went into a TAFE course as non-trade. So that's where I'm not an apprentice, but I'm studying it at TAFE.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I started there. It was really interesting because it was like only I knew nothing about hair. I was always the girl that I would walk to school with my hair dripping wet. Like I never took care of myself like that, like in high school.
Right.
So it was weird, like you know, starting to know a little bit more about hair, like how to wash hair, like how to style it, and like it was just a whole different world. But
What year was that?
so I would say that was
take me back. What year was that?
maybe like 2 years after I graduated, so 2017 maybe. Like I started that non-trade.
Yeah.
2018 is when I actually loved doing hair and like
Yeah.
actually got into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And take us through that journey, because you were at the first place,
Yes.
and then you realized, you know, you want to share that, because I was definitely there when that happened.
Yes.
What happened? Someone film you in.
No, so I honestly think this is where
Did you cry or something? Was it like oh shit, fuck this place, I need to like move
I
on?
don't think it was like that. I think it's more just she realizing.
You just outgrew that environment. Oh, okay.
That's where I realized like my biggest change happened.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
at my old workplace.
Right.
So I used to work in Liverpool. It was like a well-known salon.
Yep.
This is where I started to love hair because the type of like work they created were like literally masterpieces. Like
Oh, nice.
and the people there when I first met them, and as like down the road, like they were really good and supportive, and they taught me like so much.
Yeah, of course.
It was really good because when I first started, I knew nothing, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was really afraid like they wouldn't hire me because like I didn't know how to do like the simple things.
Yeah.
But when I did a trial day with them, they were like they couldn't wait to work with me because I knew nothing, and they wanted to like mold me
Yeah.
and like put good habits like onto
sure.
me, so then I can like take that on later on.
Yeah.
So you were willing to learn, like you had that in you.
I really wanted to create.
They must have saw something in you because a lot of
Yeah.
places don't do that.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
so that you must have. There was something about you that they're like, oh fuck yeah, like this is for us. Like we need to get her in.
Of course.
So give yourself a pat on the back for that, because like literally like a lot of people don't show that level of like enthusiasm or something.
Yeah.
Especially when
Yeah.
you don't know anything and you're just trying. Like fuck, I'm trying. I hope they see that I'm trying and not because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I mean that's good. That's fucking
yeah. So I was with them for about a year and a half, I think. And I think I was so into just like work at the time. Like I just wanted to create what they were creating.
good.
Yeah.
And then this is where I kind of like lost myself, was
Yep.
because
She's a workaholic.
I became something I didn't want to
Really?
become, and I became a workaholic. I realized all like I wanted to do was just hair. I wanted to create like these balayages, highlights, that my seniors were creating, but they've been doing it for like
10 plus years.
10 plus years,
Right.
and I'm always comparing myself with them, and that's where I kind of like I felt like I broke. Like it was
Yeah.
just
Yep.
It's hard to be in an environment like that.
Yeah. I got something that I wanted to ask you, literally and I have this habit of forgetting shit. So I want to ask it now.
Yeah.
I hope that's okay. So I think of and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Please enlighten me on this one. I see barbering, hairdressing. It's like fast food, and when I think of fast food, you go in, you get what you need, and you get out. And I feel like, I mean, I'm not comparing it to food, but it's like you go in, they sort of just do you up, and I guess you have to be happy with what you get, and then you just leave. But look, the last time I got, look, I'm probably very ignorant or whatever, but I haven't been to an actual barber, like an actual like barber at fucking Westfields or something in a long time.
Yeah.
But I remember my memory there. I remember never being happy with my haircut, and this is why I get my haircuts from like my close mates now, because I'm like, they'll take their time.
Yeah.
And I remember some guy would spend 10 minutes on me, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't even know what to expect. Like, I just had to. I left and I just paid, and I'm like, am I really happy with it though? So that's sort of what I mean by like, it's like fast food where you go in, and then it's like 10. It's probably different with women's hair, of course. They probably spend a lot more time. I mean, what's your thoughts on what I said? Like, is that I'm probably very ignorant, and please forgive me. I'm not trying to be an ignorant guy.
No. It's right. It's weird because that's how I thought of hair before I started doing hair as well. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh. There was so many times where when I was younger, like I'd get, say for example, there was this one time I wanted a fringe. I wanted like a side fringe.
Oh, those days. Yeah.
I know.
I got into that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I went to this salon, and I asked for it, and she was just like an older lady, but she was really nice to me.
Yeah.
And what she did was like it was kind of like a side fringe, but it was just like kind of like a step down.
Oh. I don't
it
even
was
know.
just like it was very like straight lines. It wasn't like
we weren't happy with that.
It wasn't flowy, but anyways,
actually gesturing what it looked like. I will put this up on Instagram.
So it's just like straight down. It's like a step. Like imagine steps.
Literally a
step.
Like,
but to the right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I definitely do understand that. Yeah, it is sad because, I feel like some people, they go and get their hair done, and then they have like this bad experience that they never want to go back again.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Which is really sad because
Christy's not like that. She actually will look after you.
Oh,
I
no,
will
110.
like
110.
I honestly will like, obviously try my best.
Yeah.
If I do like, make a mistake, I learn from it. So really, those clients that I first like ever started with, like say at TAFE, or like my first haircut and stuff. So my first ever like women's haircut that I did, she wanted a trim.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people could probably like relate to this, but like she asked for a trim, and it was like almost like proper cut, half her hair off.
Oh,
and ever since then, I've never done that again.
Right.
Like. Sometimes like, when I make mistakes, I learn
100%.
I learn from it. So
I think that's just being an artist in general. Like you want to be happy with the finished product. Like you just want to be happy with it. And I mean, not every artist is very good at what they do from the get-go.
Yeah.
So it's just something you work on. It's like muscles. You just kind of work on it until you get really, really good at it.
Yeah.
And I mean, no doubt you're on your way, but I'm like, I just wanted to share that because I'm like probably not the only one that ever felt that way. Because I'm like, why do I not go to any barbers anymore? Like, why do I only go to my mates? Why do I only like? Cause
it's across every industry though. Because there's people that are like really passionate about what they do and they're very hardworking. Yeah. And then you've got people that are literally like kind of just half-assing it.
Yeah.
And then they're the people that will like scar people for life.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like. I know I do have some, like my first few clients, like some of them would get their hair done, they're not happy and then they won't return, or they're not happy and then they'll tell me what they don't like, and then I would go around like, okay, how can I fix that?
Exactly.
And what can I do next time to make it better?
Exactly.
Yep.
And so like I do have some returning clients, even though they're not happy with the first time, they have that trust in me to like, learn. Learn from it. So which is really good. Like I do appreciate those clients that do come back.
Clients.
And let me like practice and like
Yeah.
build on skills. So a lot of I have 2 mates at the moment who are also like, I do men's cuts. I'm like trying to like practice my fades and stuff, and
Hit her up, guys.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking
Honestly,
hell.
if you
So-
want to help someone out, the best way is like if they're offering a service, definitely go to them. You know?
So you're trying to do both men and women?
So at the moment, I do like, I have this vision that I want to like already like find my like specialty.
Yeah.
Because in hairdressing, the way I see it, there's cutting. You can be like
Yeah.
a master cutter, a stylist where you can do like styles for wedding, like hairdos and stuff. And then there's like coloring, where pretty much like the foils or
Yeah.
Yeah.
balayaging and stuff like that. The next one would be like men's cuts and the men's side of things. So I just feel like there's just like this whole range that I kind of want to like, I hate to admit, but like I'm a little bit impatient, and I just want to like learn everything now so I can find
What you want to do.
what I want to do.
That's still a good thing that you're like, you know, practicing and you're putting
Yeah.
yourself in situations where you can actually learn. And it goes back to a few of the other episodes where I think Simeon's one where he's like, just try it. Just try it. As much
Yeah.
as you can.
It's good that you
Just
are
do it.
trying
and
it,
you
though,
are doing
because,
that.
like-
You're like an example of that.
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
good that you're trying it, because you don't know if you don't try, and you don't really know unless you give it a real good go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're doing that. But is there one that you like out of all of them, like that you kind of
The
gravitate
most?
towards the most or something?
Yeah, so it would definitely be cutting. I do enjoy
What's cutting?
cutting hair.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, when
Because
I
I'm
say
like
cutting,
hairdressing, cutting. Like, isn't that part of it?
like haircuts.
Like with the scissors and that.
Yeah,
right?
with
Oh, right.
scissors. I've been doing a lot of men's in the salon, and I do it outside of work as well.
Yeah.
'Cause my brothers always need like a haircut every 2-3 weeks, whatnot.
Oh, that's why he's been looking fresh in that.
Uh,
That's why he's always been looking fresh, huh? Because
Yeah,
oh, shit,
well-
you actually do his hair, but actuals.
yeah.
Oh shit! Not bad. I
So-
swear, every time I see that guy, he's always got a fresh fade. I'm like, fuck.
Uh,
Like literally every second day or something. I don't know. When I
wait,
do
which
see him.
one? 'Cause I've got like
Which
3
one?
brothers.
Oh
So
yeah.
you do them all? Like,
Wait, you do all of your? Wait, really?
Oh, actually, I'm cutting my eldest brother's hair today.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
there you
right.
go.
And I know you cut my cousin's hairs too.
Yeah.
That guy's been looking fresh and shit. I'm like, fuck, man. That's pretty
Definitely.
cool.
Thanks.
So do you
yeah,
like-
still learning?
Yeah. Oh no, of course. So obviously, like you wanted to do like the men's hair, is because you just wanted to try it and you wanted to see if that's something.
Yeah,
You
I
like
just
as
want to
well?
see if it's my thing. At the moment, like I'm
What's your
still
thing? Oh, cutting. You like
cutting. I
a lot
love
more.
cutting at
Yeah.
the moment. I have heard like one of my other seniors, she was like, when I first started, I enjoyed like cutting, but then I fell in love with coloring more like years down the track. So
Oh, right.
it could change, but like at the moment, yeah, cutting is
yeah, just
definitely
go with it.
Because I'm looking at from the outside in, I'm like, fuck, I'd love styling. Styling would be fucking mad, bro. I used to fuck
Styling's
around with the Gatsby back in the day, and the long hair. Yeah. I mean, if I were to go into it, I'd probably be
styling.
styler, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with like cutting, you also actually need to like
Style, right?
be good at styling, is what I heard. Yeah.
Right. No, it makes
Because-
sense.
Yeah, 'cause you can do like a really good haircut, but if you don't know how to style it,
Yeah.
then it's gonna look
It's
crap.
Gonna look cat,
When
yeah.
they walk out there. I've
Yeah.
had those.
Yeah. Or if you did like, if you can't really cut, but you can style it to make it look good, then you can kind
Then
of.
you can kind of save yourself.
You save
Yeah.
From like a
and then they
butchered
go wash
haircut
it,
there,
and then
yeah.
they're like, oh shit.
No, but that's bad. Don't do that. No,
Alright.
you should do.
Christy does not do that, guys.
No, you should
Yeah.
like cut and style it.
So
Both
talk-
equally.
like we'll talk about a bit of like mentors, because I feel like they were like a key part to your growth.
Oh yeah.
So like your bosses, I think.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How have they helped you?
So my first ever boss, he was his passion for hairdressing was like amazing. Like you can see it in like the videos he created, and a lot of my seniors as well. You can just see like the way they take care of hair.
Yeah.
like as much as you want to give the client like what they want, if you're gonna put their hair in like bad condition, like why
So
would
for
I
example,
do
people that want their hair blonde
that? Oh
and they want blonde straight away.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Oh, yeah, can you shed some light on that? Because I'm like, like, surely she tells me it's not good for the hair.
To put your hair, especially like philo Asian hair that's black or dark brown, to blonde, especially like the platinum blondes and the blondes that those girls have.
Yeah.
You know the girls I'm talking about.
I don't look at any other girls, but
I
don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna incriminate myself.
Shed some light there.
Yeah.
So how your mentor would have helped you understand, okay, you can't actually just straight away bleach it.
Yeah. So I should probably start with like on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would always see like these massive transformations from like dark, like almost black hair to like blonde, like white blonde. And I always wondered how they do that, because like when I started working in my first salon, they always when they did like consultations, they always said like you won't be able to get that in one go. But then there would always be clients saying back, oh, but how come this person
on
Instagram got it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really has like a lot of factors into like why they were able to get that, because everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like you don't have the same hair as that girl in the photo. You don't know what she's done, what she hasn't done to her hair. So like with virgin hair, when we say virgin, it means like you haven't touched it, as in like it hasn't been touched by like bleach or color or chemical there's chemical straightening or perms, stuff like that. That's what virgin means, like not being touched. So those types of hair, those lift, like when I say lift, like they lighten easily, like they can they can like go much more blonde than the ones that have already been touched. If that makes sense, because there's so much like there's so much to it, because like the chemicals that already been put on, your hair's been compromised, and if you want to compromise it more, it
makes a lot of sense.
It is difficult. I'm just trying to
so basically
think
what happens to the hair if you were to do it in like one go.
If
so
you
say
were,
for example, my hair, I've never, like it's virgin hair. And I just went straight away to blonde.
Can you?
What would have?
What would be the?
What would be
like
the process?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the process and what's the potential like damage?
Okay, so say if I just like took you to that blonde straight away, I'd probably have to like bleach your hair twice.
Mm-hmm.
And
in that
one session,
because I'd want it in the one session.
If you wanted it in the one session, I would do it in the one session, but then your hair would probably snap off or like just not handle it.
So what would be the careful, calculated, strategic approach? Like obviously when you do a consultation, they'll be like, oh, I want it done in one session. No mate, it probably takes a couple of days or something like that.
Again, like
what's the
like the same situation? So virgin hair, but
like
then
what would be
I'm
the right
go
way?
with what you're
like what would you suggest? Like
what would you do?
Okay. So what I'd first look at is your hair.
The hair type and all that, right?
The hair type. If it's like fine, if it's like porous, and then porous is like if it's like dry.
Okay.
Dry texture. Yeah. Right. Because what do you call it? If you do have dry hair and I put bleach on it, bleaching is makes your hair dry even more. So why would I want to do that?
I'm very impressed with how much you know already, because I'm learning a lot already from this. Like I'm
really?
Why don't you just go blonde?
I'm like, oh,
are you serious?
Like it's very drying.
She's touching my hair right now.
So
because in my head I'm like, you can just, if I pay you $1,000, you'll get it done in one session, but I don't know the repercussions of a one session.
Because you also you also gotta think like you need to put like some sort of bond protector. So there are a lot of different brands of bond protectors. So pretty much the one we use in the salon is called Bond Fusion, and that helps protect the bonds while lightening your hair. There's a first step that goes into the bleach that helps protect it while lifting. The second step would be like the mask at the basin, which kind of just like closes it and like kind of just like seals it off and maintains that protection. And then the third step is like the take home your hair care regime at home, and to continue that process. Yeah. So if I was to take you to that level, you'd have to invest, you know, your money also into the products, because that is just as important as like coming to the salon itself. You wouldn't go blonde and then not take care of it and like treat it
100%.
So yeah, I think
is that a couple of days? Is that going to take a couple of days? Like, how many sessions will that take? Like, the right way?
The right way?
Yeah, for like a person.
The way that I would do it is I would do it in like maybe 2 or 3 sessions. Depends on your hair.
So with my hair. So people that are like listening probably suss out the video on Instagram. Yeah. But let's say like I was to go blonde.
Yes.
What would you like? How long would that take? So say first session's today.
Yeah.
What happens?
So what I do, so I'll apply bleach.
Yep.
I'd recommend you to use Bond Fusion, which is like a bond protector. Yeah. So that reduces breakages.
Yep.
And then I would push it to how light your hair would lift. Okay. Without causing like breakage or for it to feel like, you know, stringy. So usually they say like 50 minute process. That's probably as long as I'd leave it on for. But then in between those times, like I would check like the condition of your hair, like to see if it's still see if it's like, you know, obviously like still intact. It's not feeling like, because it can stretch. Yeah. Your hair can stretch. If it stretches, that means, that's already like way past, like it's over processed. Like it's, you've already reached the breaking point. You kind of want to bleach it and like do a test strand. So I would just like get the hair and pull on it a little bit. And if it's still like strong, then I know like your hair's good, your hair's okay. And then like I'll just like remove the foils and then like, and then whatever you are on that day, however light you are, that's as light as I could take you in that one session. I would, if it's not as light as you want it to be, then I would do another session. Maybe say in like 4 weeks or so. 4 weeks. Yeah.
Say I want to go like platinum blonde.
Yeah.
That would take like a few sessions, right?
Yeah, that'd probably take 2. I would say 2 or 3. Yeah. So your hair level at the moment, I would say, is like a level 4 or 5. Yep. So that's like darkest brown kind of level.
Hey guys. Yeah.
And then so level 4 is here. You want to be like a level 10.
Oh,
which
wow.
For some hair types, like you can reach it or you can't. It really depends on your hair.
Of course.
So in the first session, you might reach like 3 levels of lift. So that might take you to say level 7, which is still pretty light. But if you're not happy with that, we can take you up further. But I would, depending on how your hair lifts the first time, I would like, you know, tell you, I can do another session and it will lift okay. Or I would know from the first, know from the first session if it might break the next time or not. Yeah.
So it's really dependent, but at least, you know, the listeners get to hear kind of that process that these girls go through.
Yeah, because I'm scared, like if done incorrectly, she can be bald, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can end up bald and like just on the wrong end of everything.
Jump there.
Not bald, but like you will like your hair will snap off.
Oh my god!
And then you probably do have to shave your head or something. I don't know. So, depends on you guys.
I'm curious, like how far into? Obviously, that's is that just styling or is that cutting?
That's just coloring.
That's called coloring.
Well, 4 or 5 different categories.
Because I'm curious, is that a specialty already in itself? Like,
it is.
Or does it take a while for you to get full confident in being able to execute like a full consultation, and then you already know how to kind of measure where they're at, and then how many sessions it's going to take to get to where they're after. Is that going to take a while? Like
To learn that,
Yeah, like,
to
is it-
learn, like, yeah,
like,
definitely,
yeah.
because
it doesn't sound straightforward at all. I thought it was fucking straightforward. I'm like, here you go.
no,
Here's
there's
the money
so
and
much.
the money.
go get your hair done.
Get your
There's
hair
so
done.
much more to it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, I don't fucking know anything. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But
so
now you've enlightened me, so I'll be a bit more like.
Be
I just don't want it to
going
get
forward.
bold. That's
Yeah,
the last
no.
thing, 'cause that's my worst fear. Is like, oh fuck, I thought I could just throw money at it and it's all good, and and then she gets bold and fucking that's it, bro.
I guess it helps to do like research too on
course.
who you go to and what type of style you want.
For
Mm.
sure.
So I feel like there are other like salons that I know that are actually like blonde Asian
Specific,
blonde
yeah.
specialists where they can
Oh.
actually take you to that
Like-
blonde in one go.
And they know like the Asian hair specifically
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how it works and all.
Yeah. So
Wow,
if
this
you're
is
that
fucking
type,
crazy.
if you have that type of hair and you want to do that, then you like to do that in one go.
Yeah.
You can go to those salons or, for example, like the ones that we use, I know that I won't be able to take you in one go. Like,
Right.
so, because there's different products as well. Like, different products can take you on
Right.
different levels, and
Yeah, there's fucking.
It's
there's
just
so
so-
many.
more
There's
to
so
it
many
than
moving
Yeah.
parts to
we
that.
realise.
Yeah.
there's so much like chemicals involved, and you actually, as a hairstylist, you don't know how it's gonna go until it kind
do
of
it.
happens.
All right,
Yeah.
fun question, because this
I-
just popped in my head, bro. Because in my work, we work with a lot of organic, like
Here we go.
skincare
Yeah.
products and all that shit, and like
Yeah.
like all that shit, right? Is there anything like that, like organic?
Does organic
For, like,
really help?
Is there organic bleaching? For
Organic
example?
bleach.
Is
Is that organic? Is bleaching organic? It's not It's really not. But is there
No.
anything that has the same effect as bleaching that's organic?
So I have been like seeing a lot of like organic coloring.
Yeah.
Where they use like certain
Bullshit,
like
eh?
plants. I
Oh.
don't know. Like
I
it
don't know.
seems to work like when it comes out.
Really?
Yeah, like the colors look vibrant and stuff, but
What's organic about it though?
it's natural. I think when they say organic, it's like, a natural like
plant derived, or
Yeah.
like from the earth or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's funny, yeah, 'cause like there's a whole movement now with like all like
With it.
ethical and cruelty-free products and
Yeah.
vegan, all that stuff. And I'm like, bro, if there's like a specific salon that does like full blown
Organic.
organic, but there's gonna be so many
people going
people that
there.
would be keen on that. I mean, it's like a whole
Yeah.
movement now. But yeah,
Okay.
sorry, babe,
I
keep us
mean,
on track 'cause I'm
yeah.
fucking, I'm just, talking
Okay,
shit.
so we'll go with your job is quite physically demanding, and I'd
Yes.
imagine also mentally and emotionally,
Yeah.
because you'd be talking to your clients, and they kind of. I was like a makeup artist before, so you kind of get told like their story. They tell you everything, right?
Yeah.
So you're with them for about an hour or so, and
Yeah.
they'll tell you, a lot.
Yeah.
And so in that, how do you look after yourself? Like self-care, me time, like things that you do to make sure that you're on point at your job.
Good question.
Like what things I do like
Yeah.
while I'm at work.
No,
Or
outside of work.
Outside of work.
Yeah.
I spend time with my pups. I think recently, ever since I got them, they've actually been like this whole they kind of just like filled this hole in my life where I do find them, they help me a lot with just like bringing me back down to like, I don't know, earth kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Grounding you.
Yeah, just grounding
Yeah.
me
That's
and
what-
just like, I was listening to this podcast actually about how oxytocin, is that the
Mm.
chemical inside
Yeah.
of us that produces happiness or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's dopamine or something, but yeah, I think it's a
Oh,
mixture of
something.
both.
Yeah.
Whichever one. Yeah.
And like, yeah, just spending time with my dogs, like hugging them and like, yeah, just being around them. I take them for walks as well.
Being active.
Being active, yeah, that is such
So
a
you
big
never had a
thing.
dog before?
No, this is my first.
Okay, so
this
it's like
is my
caring for a
first
child
pet.
almost. It's pretty much the
Are you
same.
preparing
Yeah.
for that? Like, what's
I don't know. I think it's like the small step in the
You
right
know
direction or
what?
something.
When
I mean, you're taken, so.
But I mean, the funny thing is, the funny thing with that is, like, I hear that a lot. Like, a lot of couples would like, or like a person would like practice their. It's like it's either that or like a plant, like a really high maintenance plant that you have to
Really?
like feed.
I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
heard of
yeah.
that one.
Well, I watch a lot of movies, rom-coms. So yeah, that's what they do in those.
He's
That's what they
basing
do in
himself
the
on
movies. So yeah, it's weird. So it's either a
Yeah.
puppy or a plant that's
Yeah.
like they need to like full care for and shit. Which is interesting. I'm not. Don't
Yeah.
ever make me do that. So I'm not gonna do it.
We won't. I mean, yeah, we won't.
I mean, yeah, back to the question anyways. So yeah, my puppies, I do spend a lot of time with them and just
Anything else?
yeah, being active,
Yeah.
like the fact that
Mm.
I take them for walks and stuff, it kind of like clears my head and just like fresh air and yeah, just spending time with like boyfriend and family. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just trying to balance that, work life.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've learned, there's no balance. Like, you just go all in on every area of your life.
I
you
know.
There's no
Yeah,
balance
it's
there.
really hard to.
It's
So
Yes.
if you're
Balance.
obsessed, a lot of the people that we've been guesting on are like obsessed.
obsessed.
Yeah.
is a good
Oh
thing.
yeah, obsessed.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll go into the next question. So it's one of Jono's questions, actually.
Okay.
Go.
Jono's questions.
Yes, go.
What is it? Can you show me? Oh God.
Pick any question that you did.
Was it that one?
Any.
Okay. Oh yeah. So at the time, I don't remember the time, but at the time, you decided to link up and work with Alison
Yeah.
as like exclusive PT. But the thing is, you could have went with anyone else.
Yes.
Why Alison is my question.
Mm.
Why her? I mean, I know why, but
'Cause
I
I
want
was
to know
forced
your
to.
why.
Because she paid me a lot of money to do so.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
hey, I knew it. I fucking
No,
knew
I'm
it.
just kidding. So when was it? I
Do you
think it
actually
was.
remember how like that came about?
I do.
Yeah.
I think
Very
But,
interested to learn this.
Ben's birthday thing,
she?
Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue.
We were at his Korean barbecue and
Benny boy.
yeah, and I was sitting next to Alison and we were just talking about like what we do and stuff. And then she was saying that she was like a PT, and around this time I was like, I got to do something. Like there are so many times back then where I was just like, I would talk about like getting fit, getting the body I want, but like actually never doing
Yeah.
anything about
Yeah.
it.
Right. That's
And
all right. A lot
then-
of
Can
people
all
think that,
relate.
yeah, we can all relate.
And then I remember one of the questions she asked me was like, oh, because I did have like a gym pass,
Yeah.
I think,
you
yeah.
did.
And then I just never went, so I was like
Yeah.
wasting my money.
Yeah.
Expensive gym
Relatable.
pass.
Yeah.
Very relatable.
Don't go.
Yeah, and I used to go with my boyfriend Richard,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just do whatever he does. Like I'll just copy
That's
like the
pretty standard.
workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
And I
get you.
hated it, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's why I like never went to the gym, and I never cancelled my membership because I was like, you know what, I'll go back, but never go back. Anyways,
Yeah. yeah.
anyways, when
Korean
I
barbecue,
met,
yeah.
when I met Alison, she was telling me that she was a PT, and the style like she does is different, and you were like more on like nutrition and the way you what do you call it, like perceive food,
Yeah.
like it's not
Oh,
it's like
good
not
one.
the enemy.
It's not the
Anyways,
enemy, yeah.
yeah, so I was like, cool, I'll try that out, and I think because
For
we
like a year. That was like a year-long thing.
it was
Yeah.
a year long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only reason why we stopped is because I became so
She
focused
broke
on
up
work.
with
I
me.
broke up with her.
Oh,
know.
how good is that? Wow.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
Just because I became really focused on work and I couldn't handle
No,
the
but
other
the thing
workload,
is,
but
the thing is, I didn't know it was a full 12-month thing. But,
Really?
well, I didn't know it
It
lasted
actually, I
that
think
long.
it was over a 12
I
It
didn't know
was
you were
over
It
12
was
months.
Was it over 12
months.
months?
Yeah.
That's
It was
crazy.
a
That
long
flew.
time.
That
It
flew
flew
real
by.
quick. But the thing is,
Yeah.
from what she told me, like, because I know you do like the check-ins or something.
Yes.
The check-ins, and then she'll tell me like a bit about how you're going. Because I'm just curious, because like you're probably one of the first real ones that like is actually just committed to. Like, you know that it's a long process.
Yeah.
And just seeing, because she'll tell me like how your mind changed around food. Now that you're eating breakfast, you're not having a shit lunch, which then will affect the rest of your day. Because then you know, it's just like
very true.
yeah. And I was just like, I'm like, dang, like it's like that,
Sweet.
like because a guy's psychology on training compared to a woman's, like, it's just totally different.
Oh, it's different.
It's
Yeah.
totally different.
You guys do like the split.
Yeah. Oh well, like, because for me, I'm just like, and this is probably the same with other guys. Like, I'll go there. If you give me a program, I'll just do everything on the thing.
Yeah.
Because I just do, that's just how I work. I'll just do everything. Like, I'm not gonna fuck around with it, because I'm just there to train, and I'm out. But with the women, I think it's different, because like you have to know why you want to train, and then what other habits that you want to incorporate to make that better or whatever. And then I'm just like, it's not as, I think for girls, I don't know, correct
I
me
think
if
it
I'm wrong.
applies to both.
It's
Yeah.
different, right?
For more so because you're at a different level.
What?
It's more like beginners, like that are.
Oh
like
yeah, sorry.
inconsistent,
Yeah, okay. That's
and not
fair
sure
enough.
what to do, and they
Yeah.
get that mindset where they're like, okay, all or nothing, and that's what I help people with. Is like, okay, don't be all or nothing. Start where you are. If you're not working out at all, don't go like 5 times. Like, aim to do every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be realistic with like your
With
time.
goals
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
I mean, it's good. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good from what you said here. Like, those, you could probably feel like that a lot of what your issues at the time were, like what she was saying kind of resonated. Like, yeah, there's certain issues that I didn't know impact my training, but if I work on these and just my relationship with like food and everything else, then that'll kind of help me get a bit more consistent and
yeah,
seeing tangible results. Like I saw your progress, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, okay, that's actually pretty awesome. Like, and because of her,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't believe in her, but I'm just like, because
You
I'll,
didn't believe
I'll
me.
okay, whoa, hang on. But I just saw it. I saw the results, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fuck yeah, she knows what she's talking about. Like, it's not bullshit,
Yeah.
right?
Was it like, what did you learn from like the experience of working? With me? Was there any like highlights?
What's the biggest takeaways? Because
Yeah.
I think, like, just
I
hearing
do
it
miss
from
working
you.
with you though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
We'll probably do it sometime soon
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I can get more of my shit together. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest one of the biggest things was like mindset, like the way I saw food.
Mm.
And being mindful of like what I'm taking in, and how that helps with like training as well as eating.
Yeah.
Another one was like, when I say mindset, also the way that I saw my body
Yeah.
and the way I thought about it. And because I'd always compare myself to other girls, and I'd show Alison like, oh, I really like this body. This is the body I want and stuff. And then she'd be like, okay, Christy, but think about her lifestyle and your lifestyle. She was like an
training
influencer.
like,
Yeah.
Influencer, bodybuilder.
Yeah. Bodybuilder. She'd be training like 5 days, like a week or something,
Yeah.
or like almost every day. And you're a hairdresser. Like, you don't have
The
like
same life.
the same life as her.
Yeah.
So
That's a good way to look at
that's
it.
why you guys are like different. And I think it was just like getting that getting down to that thought of like, you know, what is your reason why?
Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
are you doing this?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, and that was
I'm pretty happy.
that was
with
like one of the biggest things. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like the mindset that
Yeah.
she had. I was really more
And like her process and just like how to get started without
yeah
diving too much into the training, because it's more than just training. I
It's
think
more
that's what
yeah.
I do
from her.
appreciate you sharing that, because like you're honestly one of the clients that are like did it, trusted, and it was like, okay, it is a long-term process,
Yes.
and you understood that like it took some time for you to like, okay, now I get why it's a long-term process. It's a
Yeah.
lifelong thing, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna just like force it for like 8 weeks and then
Yeah.
I'm all good. It's
Yeah.
like a process. And
Yeah.
yeah.
When I saw the results, I was like, oh, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So when did you start seeing some of those results? Like I know you were kind of just. I guess the first couple of months would have been like,
It
fuck, is this
was-
working? Like, is this? I just gotta trust in the process,
kept,
trust in the system,
We
right?
keep
'Cause you-
progress photos
yeah.
Yeah.
and measurements. And so
Yeah.
she actually, from the results that she had, she gained weight.
Yeah.
But it was
But she-
muscle. Like
yeah.
it was
It was
actually muscle
muscle,
because you
yeah.
could tell her body shape changed.
That was
So,
really cool.
Yeah.
Did you notice
That
that?
was
Shit,
cool.
yeah, that
Yeah?
was I felt more confident. I felt like it was so good. So I just felt like doing that as well just helped with my mental
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
And
Yeah.
I saw that video of you actually doing like push-ups, like proper push-ups.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god,
That was a
remember
good
when I
vibe.
first started I couldn't
She
do
could
a
not do
single
push-ups.
Like a single, like
a
Yeah.
single
strict push
push-up.
up. Yeah. And I saw
Yeah.
that and I'm like,
How many
God
push-ups can you
damn.
do now?
That's crazy. I can't even like
Yeah,
maybe like
when's the last
20.
oh wow.
Yeah, I know,
Or
right?
something, yeah.
She's like built herself up.
Fuck,
Her
I can't
strength.
even.
It's crazy.
Oh wow, that's crazy. What the
I
fuck?
know.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that video and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I remember you doing the one on the bar. You know how the bars on the
Yeah.
So it's like
cage?
an elevated push-up. Yeah.
Like the barbell on the fucking
On the squat rack.
on the squat rack, and
Yeah.
then you that's where
I
you
get her to
started.
start there, yeah.
Yeah, and
I
then
get a
you
lot of
worked your
clients to
way.
start there,
Was it
yeah.
working your way down?
You work your
and
way
then
down
onto the
and
the
then to
on
the
the
floor,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's hard on the
yeah,
floor. So
that's full on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
sick. Yeah, I
crazy.
saw
Thank
that
you for
video.
sharing that.
That's
That's
pretty cool.
alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one was just around oh babe, I think that's your one, babe. Top 3 lessons you learned so far with personal development. It's probably really, really new to you.
Yes.
But I know nevertheless like you're really working on that.
Ever since she left her old job,
I-
she went into it.
Oh right,
Yeah.
nice.
Development
Nice.
stuff, yeah.
That was
Any lessons that you'd like to
Interesting
share
time.
with the listeners?
Comparing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There's no right or wrong
don't-
answer, by the way.
yeah.
It's just whatever's.
Probably learned a lot.
Wins
She
the
has to
most
think
from you.
about
Oh
which
yeah,
one.
yeah.
there's so
Yeah, there's,
many.
like, so much.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of having a mental block, but yeah. So comparing yourself, yeah, don't compare yourself because it just, yeah, exactly what we were saying before. Like you're not like everybody's different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've all got like our own,
Different story.
yeah, different story
Yeah.
to
Totally.
go on.
Different
so
point of your life.
yeah. And there was this really good one that I'm trying to think of. It was about like a flower, and like it was like the last flower to bloom or something.
But
No, I
you
can't
have to
even think
water
of
it or something.
No, okay, that was
Is
really
it the
bad
is
because
the
I can't
sunlight
remember
outside?
it. No, but like it was like the last one to bloom, but it was like
The most beautiful or something like
yeah.
that.
Oh, like a late
Like it's-
bloomer.
Yeah, like a late bloomer, but you're gonna bloom.
Ah.
But anyways,
yeah.
that brought me to like thinking like we all have our own like timeline.
Mm.
Like
100%.
True.
I always compare to like my success to people who I started like high school with and stuff. Like they're graduating now. I'm not graduating now, but like I don't know, like we're different. Like I
feel
think
you.
that was
I
like
never graduated.
yeah.
So I feel you, man. One point I was seeing everyone graduate on Instagram. I'm like,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, all good guys. Everyone's
It's
buying
crazy.
fucking nice cars and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
I totally get
another
Mm.
thing was like don't like other people's opinions about you, like they don't matter. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Was
you
that
know,
an issue for you though before?
it was
Really?
yeah, 'cause I think that really I always cared what other people like thought, and I felt like
Yeah.
I had to be a certain like way, and like realizing like that's not how like it should be. It's,
Yeah, of
it's
course.
just wrong, and it just like it just makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like there's this podcast that I was listening to this morning. Actually, it was about not caring about other people's opinion. Like, so for example, say for example Alison was like, said, "Oh, I don't like pears,"
Yeah.
and I heard that, and I'd be like, "Okay, cool. You don't like pears. That's her problem. That's not
Yeah.
my problem." But then, say for example, if Alison was like, "Oh, I don't like the color of your hair," like, is that like my problem? Or is
Yeah.
that her problem? Like, why should it affect me if it's her
Yeah.
problem or
That's
something?
her problem. Like, fuck
Yeah,
off.
so
Sorry, guys.
it doesn't like cool. Like, yeah, and that made me
That's
realize, like, yeah, that's true. Like, it's only like it only affects you if you know
You let it.
you let it.
let
Yeah,
it
if you
Yeah.
consent
affect
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's good. I
Um,
like those lessons.
Yeah, I like those. I like that one.
yeah.
She's got a
What
lot
was it
more.
called again? The pear. Okay, the pear analogy. Yeah, that's good.
Pear
Yeah.
analogy.
I'm just
we're
trying
gonna,
to
we're gonna
think
give
about
that
it.
to you, Christy.
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
pear
sick.
analogy.
That's fucking
Yeah.
sick.
That's her analogy.
That's
So
fucking sick.
I'm still trying to, like, learn how to not care, but
It's
like
a work
about
in
other-
progress.
yeah,
Like,
it's in
I even do
progress.
it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does it, and I totally get it, man. It's easy for me because I
'Cause it just doesn't
just
care.
don't care.
Yeah.
But it comes with like sometimes it's a bit too much, and she pulls me up on it, and I'm like, yeah, you're
there's a
right.
limit
Yeah, you're
to
right.
like
There's a
not care.
limit.
Yeah.
So I think it just goes down to like you want to help people. The reason why you got into the jobs that you
Yeah.
did is because you wanted to help people.
Yeah.
I find myself similar, and so if you want to help people, you have to know that you care for them,
Yeah.
and so it kind of just comes across into other aspects of life when it's like, oh, I care about what this person thinks, but
Yeah.
sometimes you shouldn't care about what that person thinks, especially if they're not helping you out in any way to like they have a problem. The pear analogy, they have a problem,
yeah.
but that's not your problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, it's something I'm still tackling as well.
Yeah.
But you just get better and better. It's a skill.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I think one thing that I learned, like doing, like in my job as well, is like you're gonna get a lot of people that don't like you, a lot of people that you'll get a lot of rejections, or people that don't want what you're offering, and at the end of the day, like you just don't focus on people that are giving you that vibe.
Yeah.
Like you'll get it, and then it's like, okay, cool, it's not for you. I'll move on, because there's people out there that want it, that want what you're offering, that want to be on your vibe.
Yeah.
And then I think for me, just dealing with the fucking, because I'm on like the front
He's
line.
in like sales, guys.
I'm in the front line, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm fucking dealing with it, and you gotta have pretty thick skin. But I just think with anything, like, because when you work on yourself, and you at least you know
Yeah.
that you know, and you're pulling yourself up that, hey, this is actually bothering me. Now I'm conscious of it, and now I don't want it to let it affect me.
Yeah.
And now you're just working on that part. So I totally get it. Like you don't.
There was a really good quote.
What was it?
that
Really
I,
good quote, babe?
So
Quote it.
Success Resources, the seminar that I went to, one of the guys was saying, if someone throws like hate at you, so throws a brick at you of like hate,
Yeah.
like you build a freaking wall, like you build a building
With it.
all those free bricks that they're like throwing at you. And I was like,
Oh,
that's
wow.
that's a good one.
That
I probably
is-
like butchered that, but like, yeah.
But I get
Yeah.
It
you.
was something
I
along
get you.
those
And it's like a
lines.
wall. It turns into a wall. and
Like
then-
a wall, and then a building. Like you actually make a building out of the bricks.
And then build a city.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Build a city.
Build a
From the
city.
hate, eh? I'll build
All
an
that.
empire on your hate, bitch. Yeah, I get you.
Exactly. That's a good way of doing
That's
it.
so good. That's so good.
And I think like the third one would be being present.
That is
That
something
one
Very
I-
important.
Yes.
So
Yes.
okay, I'm
Yes.
still learning how to do that.
Where'd you get
'Cause
that from, by the
I
way?
Being present.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you get
I
that from
first
anyone
I
particular?
first heard it from Alison.
Hey.
She's like, you need to learn how to be present.
Yeah,
I
she
think
tells
it
you
was-
that all the time.
yeah.
Well-
Honestly, it's a thing we all struggle with, I think.
Yeah.
It is so
Because
big.
we're so focused on the future
yeah.
and what we need to get done
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we're not like here. Like we have to be here. And that's
Yeah.
something I'm practicing too. And that's good that you shared that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how has that
That's
like
sick.
helped
Being
helped you?
present.
Yeah.
I noticed that because like sometimes when say with clients, like I'm doing their hair and I'm just so like into like, okay, like I'm applying this color, okay, like what is it going to turn out, like if I do this, if I do that, And then I realized like I'm just stuck in my head for like the whole hour while I'm doing their hair. And I'm
you're
like,
oh,
I haven't even said anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why haven't I said
I
anything?
know what you mean.
Or like, what should I bring up? And I'm like, oh no, I can't bring that up now because like it's been a while since like we spoke about it. It's just like, oh my god. And then so like I'm just in my head the whole time, and it's
You're
so
like on
bad.
autopilot.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
And
yeah.
then I'm just like, and then I, and then yeah, like I would just not be present.
Yeah.
But then the next time, like I came into work and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like practice like trying to be present, with my client, like just it's just me and the client, no one else. Like I don't care about like how long I'm taking to do this. Like it's just me giving that service with the client, and it was actually really cool because like I remembered certain things that they would say to me because when I'm not present, I forget like what they say to me goes out the other. But yeah, being present, like I don't know, we created like this what do you call it, client hairdresser like connection.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this relationship, and I don't know, it's just like I don't know, it just makes you happy.
No,
like,
I know what you mean.
I
I know what you mean because
Yeah.
going back to like when I would get my hair cut, like you're there for the whole experience.
Yeah.
And not being present is gonna take away from that experience.
Everything.
So not giving that, but that's really important. I'm really glad that you actually said that because I'm thinking like, why don't I don't go to a fucking actual barber anymore? And the reason why I go with my barber is because my mates cut my hair, and it's like, oh, okay, now
That
we talk,
experience,
and you get that experience. You know, you're
Yeah.
just talking, whatever, catching up, and it's just a sick experience. Like
Yeah.
someone you don't know, when you can build that with someone, especially
Yeah.
that's going to be really important, I guess, for client retention and
That's-
long-term
That's
success.
all,
That's
yeah.
so
industries,
that's really
guys.
all industries, 100%.
That's like the best feeling as well when
Oh,
like they
yeah.
come back just to like, you know,
You're like, oh hey, like what have you been up to? Like how it's been so long, blah blah blah, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
what
So
that
good.
what you said reminded me of this male client I have at work. He comes back every 6 weeks now to get his hair cut with
Yeah.
me. He's like an older
Yeah,
male, and I asked him like, did you used to go to like a barber shop like down the road because there was one that closed recently?
yeah,
And he was like, nah, I've always been to a salon like now because they give like a different service to apparently barbers. I've never been to a barber
Yeah.
shop, but apparently in a barber shop they kind of just like do your hair
Go,
and then like
that's
yeah,
what I
go
mean.
Yeah.
Fast
like one
food.
after
I'm
the
telling
other.
you. Yeah.
But in the salon, when I do a client, when I do like a men's cut, like we're there, like I'm cutting his hair and like we're talking, like I take my time, we go over to the base and I wash his hair, like massage, like it's very hands on, like you already have that close connection with them because like touching someone is like
it's very personal hairdressing.
yeah, personal, that's the word. So like they come in for the service as well because he was like, oh, I come in for the service. Then more
See what I mean? It's really important.
weird.
It's
Yeah.
really important. Like
It is.
it's so subconscious as well. Like I wouldn't have. I just remember feeling good when I was there, and it was a fantastic experience, and it was a good chat. And like, why wouldn't I go back there? It's just like
Exactly.
so important. But yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff. Good stuff.
We'll go into like some. Is there any more questions there, love?
No, babe. I was just gonna go
So
into the
FAQ?
no, you're gonna go into the I thought
Oh
you
yeah,
were
that
gonna-
one. Okay, so
11.
sorry, guys, for
It's all good.
unpreparedness. Okay, so we've got your thoughts on. I'm gonna say a quote, and then you're just gonna give us like your opinion, your thoughts on it. Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm just a hairdresser. Why should I invest time and money into learning how to become better? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, 'cause I don't like that. 'Cause
I know you don't. That's why we
I
asked.
know
it.
you
okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Well, because the way I see hair is like you can never stop learning. Like you can be good, but what do you call it? The hair industry is always changing as well.
Mm.
So say if I was to like, because what's in at the moment was like balayages
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So balayage is like a type of like hairstyle where it's just like dark roots blending to a lighter color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, so that's in at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But what happens if that fashion changes and like, you know, say for example like scalp bleaches, like one solid color was the next thing, and you only like focus on balayages because that's what, you know, that was in at that time. And if you don't educate yourself, like
If you don't change.
if you don't change, if you
Yeah.
don't adapt, then you're not
Nah,
you're not any good.
Yeah.
good
It's like,
point. Good
I don't
point.
know, yeah.
It just reminds me because like I watch a lot of old movies and you see the hairstyles on the women in those
Hairstyles
movies
is
from
so
like the
different
70s
now.
to the 80s.
Yeah.
To how they sported it
Yeah.
in the 90s and even now.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's
It'll be
if
interesting to see where it goes from
yeah,
here.
it'd be
Yeah.
but it's so interesting because like you're totally right, and you answered it really well. Like learning doesn't stop when you graduate or when you finish a course
Mm-hmm.
or when you
Yeah.
get that certificate. Like it really fucking doesn't.
It's a theme throughout our podcast, actually.
Yeah, and like it's good because it's actually true. Like
Education
right now
is so
is
big.
right now is in, and if you only just like keep doing what you're doing and then it changes and you're still stuck on that little style that's no one wants anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like-
And when we say education, we don't mean like uni course or TAFE
Yeah.
course. We actually mean like other things such as books, podcasts,
Yeah.
and anything else like mini courses online from
Yeah.
not
Yeah, just
traditional education.
Future-proof
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, there's like a lot out there in terms of like investing in yourself, and
Yeah.
these things also cost money. Podcasts, for example, they don't, but they take time. So it's investing that time or
100%.
money
Yeah.
into it.
A big thing as to why I left my previous job to my new job was actually because of what I didn't know then, I noticed now, is like education. Like education is so big. Like, so
Yeah.
at my old salon, they had like a, what do you call that when they only have like one type of clientele? They had like the young girls, the young,
like
young
a
women.
specific demographic
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
targeting. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that type of demographic, and what I realized is like all I knew was that type of demographic.
Yeah.
Went to hairdressing, there's like this whole range. So in my new my new salon now, I've learnt how to do men's cuts,
Yeah.
kids cuts, something like we never touched on in my old salon.
Yeah.
I've done a perm, like
Yeah.
perms. Yeah, like it's just so weird because like it gave me some sort of like fulfillment, like knowing that there's so much more to than just that one area.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
you kind of like branch out and
Yeah,
just
able to
kind
try
of
more
like
things.
learn
Yeah.
learn more things, try new things.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's good. Moving on to our next mini segment. It's called Feedback is Uncomfortable. We did this with RJ in the last episode. And basically you're going to look at my hair and you're going to look at his head.
Okay.
Head.
Yeah.
What? No,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's like nothing here.
Nothing there.
What's going on, mate?
And you're just going to like, say for example, we're coming to you for the first time.
Okay.
Like what would go through your head in the first consultation, and then what you would recommend
Okay.
in terms of like hair care, because this is a big thing. Like you go to a salon, they like recommend you like really expensive stuff, but they don't really explain as to why you need to use it. We just feel like, oh, okay, well, I just have to buy it because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So just would you be able to just go through that? So start with
Okay.
we'll start with me and then go with him. So this is
even
uncomfortable,
think
guys,
you
because
need to do
I know my hair is kind of oily right now. So.
All right. So just from that, I know that you produce a lot of oil.
Mm-hmm.
Right then and there, if that's something that you don't like about your hair, then I would recommend a what do you call it? In our salon, it's called Derma Regulate, and it's for oily scalps. Pretty much, it just helps like regulate your what do you call it? Like your hair bulb inside your head, and it just like kind of just like slows down that process of it.
The oil production or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
secreting or excreting or secreting
Yeah.
like the oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have that control. And then I would go in to ask you like, how does your hair feel, or how does it feel to
know.
you? Yeah.
It's getting longer. By the way, guys, she's actually the one that cuts my hair, like my trims. So I'm trying to get it longer.
Yeah. It's grown out a lot,
It
which is
has.
really good.
it has grown. But definitely, if I was to go blonde, I'll probably go to her. Anyway, but yeah, so it feels a bit dry.
Okay.
It's more healthy than before, because if y'all don't know what my hair looked like in like year 12, it was horrible. It was like dark
Oh
orange.
God, yeah.
Because I tried to go blonde, but I didn't obviously go to the right place.
Yeah.
So
Offended.
people remember that it broke. So
It broke.
that's why it was like
Fuck, you got
Why
butchered,
did
bro.
it was breaking off. Well, that's what
Didn't
happens when you
Instagram
try to
exist
do it.
back then, bro? You
Yeah.
could have just sussed out the best salon or
No,
something.
because they did
But-
look like the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
and
look
they
like
just
the
didn't know how to
best.
handle your
Just-
head, like
just
your
after
head,
the
your
care.
fucking your style.
Yeah, like the care after.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
wow.
That's
too
important.
is a
Really
big
important.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what would you say? Because right now, I'll be honest, I haven't bought like shampoo from like the expensive places because
Expensive places.
because I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I don't even think
I've
it
been
needs
using
to be expensive.
do you know like Rejoice from
Mm.
Phil's, the shampoo?
What
from,
the
from
fuck?
I actually haven't heard that before,
Really?
but yeah.
using
I,
stuff
just like
from the
the
Philippines.
just the normal
Standard.
standard shampoo.
so we call
please
them
go into
What do you call
that.
them?
yeah. So they're called we call them supermarket shampoos.
Yes. that.
Yeah, and conditioners.
Why can't I just use that?
So
That's what a lot of people be thinking.
that
Like, why
is
can't I
yeah,
do
that is a really big question that I get asked a lot, and I'm still like learning it more like in depth. But what I know, so with supermarket shampoos and conditioners, they contain a lot of like silicone, which is like a plastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, say for example, with the conditioner, yeah, it makes your hair feel like soft and shiny in like when you like in the first day that you wash it,
Mhm.
and like for those couple of weeks that you first start using it. But actually, like long term, what that plastic does, it like builds up on around your hair cuticle and creates like this barrier. So it actually prevents like what your hair needs, like it prevents that from coming in. And then in long term, yeah,
It
it
means you
creates
buy more conditioner.
not buy more conditioner, but like it can cause your hair to feel dry and brittle, and that's where like your hair can snap as well.
Because it's not
and-
getting like
and
the
break off.
nutrients. because
Yeah,
it's
of what it
being
needs.
covered by
Yeah, it's
plastic.
yeah,
God.
exactly.
Right. Okay.
So
Makes
it-
sense. Did you guys take notes?
So that's what I know of like supermarket shampoos and
That's so
conditioners.
bad.
You just sometimes like even buying it on cheaper websites.
Mhm.
It could also like if you buy it from there, they could have been tampered with, where like they
Yeah.
dilute it a bit more, and like
Yeah.
like when I say dilute, like they maybe just like add a bit more water, or like
Yeah.
just to create
Makes
more
sense.
products and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you just when you say expensive, they're actually not.
They're actually not. I'm just like
they're actually
complaining.
they're actually
compared
not
to
as
Compared to supermarkets,
compared to
you
the
mean?
supermarket ones, I find
Yeah.
that they're more pricey.
yeah.
But obviously, you're paying for the better production and
You're paying for your
care.
hair's
Yeah,
health as
exactly.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a good way to say. Because
Yeah.
people don't really look at it that way. Like,
yeah. No.
like hair health.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
hair
It's like
Hair
I don't
health.
really
Hair
know.
health.
Because like, yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, no, I tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
But
you for
yeah.
sharing that. How about him now?
There's probably nothing you can do, eh? Like, but what I try to do is just
Maybe explain your like what you use to wash your hair. Like,
so
is it
I
different
literally-
for a guy in terms of like shampoo,
And
conditioner?
conditioner. No, usually when
what
I
do
have a
guys do?
consultation with a client,
oh yeah.
I'd ask them
So ask him like a consultation.
okay, so I'd pretend
Yeah.
like I'm having consultation with you. Okay, so what are you unhappy about with your hair or scalp? Because hair and scalp is different.
Mm.
Scalp is obviously like your
of course.
scalp, and
Yeah, yeah.
your hair is like the hair on the ends. Yeah.
My fade doesn't last longer than I want it to. But I know that's something you can't fix.
I don't think Jono is like a good example
Yeah,
for
it's pretty bad,
stuff
'cause
like
I
Just
don't-
just make
But-
something up. Like, what's a complaint you hear from the boys?
yeah.
Come on, complain. Come on, come on.
Okay. My scalp is oily.
There you go.
Oily.
It's
So
like the
same, yeah,
thing.
same thing as Alison. But say for example, if you said your hair was dry or
Okay.
like flaky,
Yeah.
then that's when I'd recommend like a dandruff-free
Yeah.
shampoo.
Would you say there's a difference between like using organic products versus
The ones you
non-organic?
buy
Yeah.
that
The
are not
ones you
organic.
buy.
Because I'm like I've just been like whenever I can I'd always just get organic, and I'm not trying to be bougie or anything, but I just know it's
No.
probably really like better for you, or like better for your skin
We
or something.
think it's better, is it?
Is it?
Organic
Yeah.
and well, I actually haven't dived too deep into organic hair care products yet, but I do know it is better than non-organic because it's natural.
Yeah, it's natural. It's not like full chemical. Like,
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that.
That's what I would think with organic too. So
Yeah.
Maybe in the
and
next
that-
one we'll have you back. You answer that question.
yeah.
With some research and stuff.
Well, I do have a client who uses an organic product because he has psoriasis,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
he was using an organic product that he was recommended by a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that really helped. And then I was like, okay, is it alright if you try this product out for me? And it was something I recommended him from my salon,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, I asked for feedback, and he was like, yeah, it worked just as well. Like,
Yeah.
so it actually may
Oh.
be
Just don't
like
know.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I think
just
it's too early in the process, like in
Yeah.
terms of like science and research and that.
Don't know yet.
Yeah, don't know yet.
I don't know. Well,
That was a good question though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only time will tell.
Time will tell.
Only time will tell.
So we'll keep it going. We'll wrap it up shortly. You already answered some of the FAQ questions that I wanted to ask. So, supermarket shampoos,
Yes.
for example, that was one. And very briefly, like in a few sentences, why is it bad to use box dye colors and it's better to go hairdressers?
Okay. When you say box dye, so that's like when you buy it from the supermarket,
From
they
the
come in boxes.
supermarket.
Supermarket.
The coloring, comes
Yeah.
from boxes. Why is it bad? So first of all, you got to think that box is trying to cater to everybody, to any like hair type.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said earlier, everybody has like a different hair
Good point.
type. Some people have like dark hair, light hair. Don't know if your hair's like frizzy or straight or the texture's different. But yeah, so this like one box is trying to cater to like whatever you have, like, you know, and it has very strong peroxide developer. So that's just pretty much like the chemical inside it that helps it like your hair change color.
Okay.
And
Peroxide,
so in comparison to when you come to a salon, we take into account like what you have, what your hair can handle, and
All those factors. you
all
mentioned
those
earlier.
factors, and we can actually what do you call it, like change the product and like kind of like design it,
Cater it.
cater it
Yeah.
to what you need and where you want to go with your
It's
hair.
basically better care, guys.
Yeah, better
Hair
hair
health.
Yeah.
Hashtag hair health. And then what products would you recommend for oily versus dry hair? Do you have any products in mind, or
So when you say
so oily hair, like really oily hair, and then dry hair, like brittle?
okay, so when you say oily hair, you mean like oily scalp. Yeah. So
Sorry, I don't know the lingo.
so oily, and there's oily scalp, dry scalp, and then there's just like dry hair. I don't, because your hair doesn't really get oily down here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
She pointed to the ends of the
to the
her
ends
hair.
of your hair. Yeah. So oily hair, I would recommend like an oil-free shampoo. Because shampoo is designed for your scalp.
Didn't know that.
Conditioners are designed for the hair.
Wow,
Did you know
I've been
that?
doing it wrong the whole time, bro.
Say that
Did you
again.
know
Say that
that?
again.
So shampoos are designed for your scalp,
Right.
and conditioners are designed for the hair.
I'm such
Boom.
an
So
idiot,
no-
bro.
What?
Yeah. So
that, okay.
yeah. Conditioners aren't actually meant to go onto your scalp
Onto the scalp.
because it's like you're adding more oil
Right.
to your hair if you were to put a conditioner on, because
Yeah.
conditioners are like to seal off the hair cuticle and just
Yeah.
like make it soft and shiny and
Okay.
give it that life. But if you add that onto your scalp, you're adding more oil, which your hair doesn't really want or need.
This
If
throws
that
me
makes
back to like when I used to have long hair and I used to be able to tie it up and shit. So
Who
that's
remembers that?
That's what I used to do. So I'd shampoo and then I'd put the conditioner in my head. And I'm a
Yeah.
guy that I know something's clean if I scrub it really hard.
Yeah.
So I was like full rough with my head
yeah.
and like I'm full scrubbing it in and shit. And then I noticed that my hair's fucking really dry. I don't know, for some reason, like it's really dry.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, oh, okay. So and then I'm chucking Vaseline in my hair and I'm I'm rubbing it in.
DIY.
Because I want that,
everyone,
I want that wet
DIY.
look. You know, like the wet look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And I'm like, I didn't know anything, but I'm like,
How would you
hair,
create a wet look on
hair,
that guy's hair?
on a
like,
guy's hair.
Like
yeah.
just like 3 steps. Like what would you have to do?
like yeah.
I'd have a good gel, a
Okay.
mousse.
Oh,
and-
mousse, yeah, I never got into that.
Yeah, just
No,
the
this is when I had
ways-
like long hair, so like probably longer than yours at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So
So it
okay,
was one of
yeah.
those ones. Yeah, I was
I
was
don't think you
stupid.
met. Did you meet him? when
No,
you-
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, eh? You can't picture it.
I
Yeah.
can't.
I full had like a ponytail and everything, but I was a fucking
Definitely see it. I'll
fool.
show you later.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was just
Yeah.
because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just like, okay. And I wouldn't like. It's one of those things where I'd probably like shampoo like once a week because I didn't want it to get too dry, like the ends, like the whatever. See, I really don't know what I
Yeah.
did back then. I was a
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
Well, now everyone that
Well-
has long hair will know what to do
Yeah.
if you're a guy.
Fucking hell.
So
Definitely hit up Christy if you have any questions about
Yeah.
hair, right?
yeah.
Are we doing
Yeah.
rapid fire?
So what we'll do is we'll quickly go to. I'm gonna make it like a short round. I'm sure you've thought about it already. Your advice to your 18-year-old self.
Oh yeah, right.
Ooh. Yeah, I think one of the biggest ones was literally not to care about other people's opinions of you, 'cause that's where you kind of lose yourself, and when you're trying to find yourself, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already hard,
so
yeah. Totally.
So
Yeah,
definitely
true.
don't
Don't compare yourself.
compare yourself as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And then fast forward 10 years, where would you like your, and then there's a few, so mental and physical health, where would you like that to be? Ideally.
Free.
Free.
Yeah. So
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
when I say free, like free to think however and feel however I want to feel. Like, so mentally, like I want to just kind of just like I want to be happy,
For sure.
and to be happy, like I feel like I would like need to be free to do what I want and when I want. Physically, 'cause what do you call it? I would want like a certain body shape, but then like why do I want that? I don't really want that. I want to be happy. I want to be free
Feel
to
good.
do. Yeah, I just want to be free to do,
Totally.
you know, to look however I want to look.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know if that makes sense.
Would you say physically like more toe? Like what would you? Muscle.
I think I don't
in
have
10
like
years.
Oh, well, yeah, in 10 years, like I still want to just kind of, you know,
Build the glutes or something like that.
I don't really have I think a body shape at the moment that I kind of want to go after. I just want to feel happy with the skin
taught
I
her
am
well.
or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't
I've taught her
know.
well.
Like, yeah, I don't have
How's that a what?
I've taught her well.
She
Oh.
taught me like
Oh.
Because she's not
Oh.
fixated on like what her body
How I
will
look.
like. She's
Mm,
more
Yeah.
about,
okay, I
wanna
feel you. I
feel-
feel
I
you.
just want to
I
feel
got
good.
you. I
and
got you
good.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Wealth and business in 10 years. Do you see yourself doing a business? Because you did mention.
Yes, I do. I do see myself in 10 years.
Yeah. So maybe not in
Mm.
10 years. Like,
Um,
it's still pretty young.
Yeah.
Very young.
So probably, I would probably like to have my own salon at home. Because
Oh,
by
nice.
then I hope to have maybe like 2 or 3 kids. So then I'd
Yeah,
probably want to like,
Richard. Yeah.
if in 10
Get
years,
there,
in
Richard.
10 years, yeah, 2 or 3 kids. And then I'd be like working from home, so I can
Yeah,
kind of
sick.
like have, you know, clients in between my
Yeah, sick.
day-to-day
Love
life.
it.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Love the vision. And you mentioned Richard. So relationship.
Yes.
So
Richard.
obviously you already
Married.
answered it.
Married,
Oh,
Richard. Cuff that.
Yeah.
And then family, friend relationships.
I don't know, good. Like I just would want to be able to spend quality time with them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Spiritually.
Spiritually, I'm in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to kind of like feel whole and just I know that there is a God, and I just want to be able to have like a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, like not really care about what my parents think of my relationship with God, because that's
Yeah.
my relationship with him. Because right at the moment, like, yeah, they think like I need to do this, I need to do that,
Yeah,
like
you
go
have
to
to do X, Y,
church,
Z
I
and
go,
all that,
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
You
stuff
don't have
like
a
that.
relationship
Totally.
I don't,
I feel you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
In their vision, though.
Yeah, in
In
their
their
vision.
vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jono. Jono's like
I
sighing
hear
right
you.
now.
it's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then you did mention happiness, so you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Just
I wanna
love
be-
it.
wholesomely happy.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so before we go to the rapid fire questions, social media. What's your so people can follow you, hit you
Okay.
up.
Oh, yeah, plug that.
All right, so my hair page is on Instagram, Christy _ Collective.
You want to spell that
Yeah.
out?
So Christy, CHRISTY _ Sabi. It's SAABI Collective.
Perfect.
Collective.
And
We'll put that in like the description and everything anyway.
Of
Yeah.
course. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we go to rapid fire? I'd like to say thank you, by the way, for coming
Oh,
through.
no worries. Thanks for inviting
Thank
me.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through.
Definitely got some like advice from you in terms of hair.
Yeah.
Some things we didn't know, so it's interesting.
Yeah, we
That's
learned a lot about hair
good.
today.
Yeah.
Love learning about new things.
It's
Okay.
different,
Yeah.
hey?
It's
Yeah.
different, but it's actually pretty
Different.
cool. Like it's pretty cool because I'm like, I mean,
There's so much more that goes
there's-
behind it. It's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Definitely
it's
have you on
not
another
easier than I
episode.
thought.
About hair specifically.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to rapid fire questions. Just answer which one that appears in your head first.
Yeah.
You have literally 3 seconds each. So, actually, little backstory. When we first made the first episode, Jono, before that, I met
Jono.
up with Christy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is. I want to be able to share this with other people.
Share it already.
Just networking
Yeah.
and the importance of networking, having someone keep you
Yeah.
accountable. So I told her before we left, like, where did we go?
Where did
Rashes.
we-
Oh,
yeah,
Starbucks.
Rashes
Yeah.
and
Yes, yes.
Starbucks. Before we left, we're like, okay, we have to have a goal.
Yeah.
And the goal was I have to have 2 podcasts out before we meet up again. So this is our meetup, and
Yay.
we've done how many podcasts? This is like
4 or 5 or
Four.
something.
at the time of this recording, we've done that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you have to have someone that's going to keep you accountable. And
Oh, well
she's
done, by the way,
definitely
because yeah,
someone that did, and she also helped me with some of the
that's sick.
rapid fire questions.
Oh, well done.
Uh,
You're very much a part of this whole
definitely,
production. Then
there's a few
Sick.
key people. I just want to say thank you guys. Y'all know who you are in terms of pushing this forward.
Yeah.
So going on to the rapid fire. We're starting off with cutting hair or styling hair.
Ooh, cutting hair.
Scissors or clippers?
Scissors.
Hey.
Morning or night?
Night.
Burpees or mountain climbers?
Mountain climbers.
Hip thrusts or glute bridges?
Glute bridges.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Silver or gold?
Gold.
Weights or cardio?
Cardio.
Assertive or passive aggressive?
Assertive.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
1 story or 2 story?
2-story.
Listening or reading?
Listening.
Date night or night out?
Date night.
Richard.
Logical or creative?
Creative.
And this one's for the listeners. What piece of advice would you like to leave them with?
Oh, it's gonna sound cheesy.
Cheese it up.
Cheese.
Cheese it up.
But chase your passion, whatever that is. Yeah, just go for it. Like,
Just
Go
go for
all
it.
in.
yeah, all
Go
in.
for it. Go all
for it. This
in.
is your permission to go for it. Christy gave you
Yeah.
permission to go for it.
Yeah, Christy.
Just go for it. Like, even if you do like feel nervous, apparently feeling nervous is a good thing.
It's
like,
pretty,
change.
it's pretty
Yeah.
it's normal to
Yeah.
feel fucking nervous. So
Always.
It is. So
100%.
It means you care. In my eyes, it means you care.
Really?
it does.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Like-
You're a bit nervous, yeah.
Be uncomfortable.
oh, good one.
Yeah.
Good one. I'm a big believer in
'Cause
that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
uncomfortable every
only
day,
way.
but it feels so good.
Yeah. That's the only way you're gonna grow.
Yeah,
though.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, Christy.
No
Thank you, Christy, for
worries.
coming along
Definitely have
today.
you on again. We'll go
Yeah.
really in depth with hair.
Thank you for
worries.
coming again. We'll
Thank you,
definitely have you
guys.
on. Thank you again for everyone listening. I hope you got a lot out of there. I definitely learned a lot out of there.
Message us,
today's
DM
session.
us, follow
Uh,
her, ask her
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
pick her brain. She'll
Maybe
definitely
you guys
help
can
out.
have questions for us next time.
We'll
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
do that.
Yeah.
For
Until
our
next
second
time,
episode.
guys. I love
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Have a blessed day. See ya.
Bye.